This Tuesday. And for those who are watching on the replay, good to see you as well. If you could please go ahead and waiting for everything to get loaded up and all the different platforms that we have, and then we'll get started. But if you could go ahead and share, let people know that we're here, that would be great. And that way they can sort of play along with us, right? So, anyway, let me go ahead. I'm sharing over on Cloud Hub. Good morning, everybody on Cloud Hub. Good to see you. If you will, please go ahead and share over there on Cloud Hub. That would be wonderful. And we will see if we have Rumble up and running yet. Rumble is always the last to get going. I see that YouTube is up and going, and now we're just waiting just a second on Rumble to see if they get an okay. Good, yes, maybe. I don't know. Fingers crossed that we get Rumble up and going. Everything is put out on a stream, so it has to go itself. So it says that we're live on there, and we'll have to just wait and see what happens. So anyway, as we move forward in our lives, we are in a different place in time that we have ever been in. And by virtue of that, it is vital these days that we check our health and make sure our health is in a good place and that we're doing the best that we can. Now, I'll talk to you a little bit more after that. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about carbohydrates. There's a little bit of confusion about carbohydrates. So let me go ahead and show this and then we will talk afterwards. Enjoy. All right, today we're going to take a look at carbohydrates. Are they all good, all bad, or somewhere in between? What are carbs? Carbohydrates, or carbs, are a type of macronutrient found in certain foods and drinks. Sugars, starches, and fiber are carbohydrates. Other macronutrients include fat and protein. Your body needs balanced macronutrients to stay healthy. What exactly are macronutrients? They are the nutrients we need in larger quantities that provide us with energy. In other words, fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Now, while we're at it, what are micronutrients? Micronutrients are mostly vitamins and minerals and are equally important but consumed in very small amounts. We generally get our micronutrients along with macronutrients. So, what exactly do carbs do? Carbs are your body's main source of fuel. They give you the energy you need to function. So, how exactly does that process work in your body? When you eat carbs, your digestive system begins to break them down. Your bloodstream absorbs the carbs, now called glucose or blood sugar. Your body releases insulin, which directs the glucose to your cells for energy. If you have extra glucose, your body will store it in your muscles or in your liver. Once you max out your glucose storage in those places, your body converts extra glucose to fat. The amount of carbs you consume affects your blood sugar. Taking in a lot of carbs can raise blood sugar levels. High blood sugar or hyperglycemia can put you at risk for diabetes. Some people who don't consume enough carbs have low blood sugar or hypoglycemia. Let's take a look at simple versus complex carbs. It takes your body longer to break down complex carbs, so they're less likely to cause spikes in blood sugar. They also contain vitamins, minerals, and fiber that your body needs. Simple carbs, on the other hand, digest quickly, so they tend to spike your blood sugar. Too many simple carbs can contribute to weight gain. They can also increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and high cholesterol. Should I stop eating simple carbs altogether then? Well, the best rule of thumb is to eat plenty of nutrient rich complex carbs and eat simple carbs in moderation. Ask your healthcare provider for personalized nutrition recommendations. Now, how do I know what's complex and what are simple carbs? Well, let's take a look at the different types of carbs. Foods and drinks can have three types of carbohydrates: fiber, starches, and sugars. Let's break it down. Fiber is plant based foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grain products that contain fiber. Animal products, including dairy products and meats, have no fiber. Fiber is a complex, healthy carbohydrate with two types: soluble and insoluble. Now, your body can't break down fiber well, but soluble fiber can dissolve in water, whereas insoluble fiber can't. Corn is an example of insoluble fiber. Soluble and insoluble fiber pass through the intestines, stimulating and aiding digestion. Fiber also regulates blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, and keeps you feeling full longer. Experts recommend that adults consume 25 to 30 grams of fiber every day. Most people, they say, get half that amount. Now, high fiber foods include beans and legumes like black beans, chickpeas, lentils, lima beans, peanuts, and pinto beans. Fruits, especially those with edible skins like apples and peaches, or seed and berries, are also examples. Nuts and seeds, including almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds, are great for you. I tend to eat a lot of almonds. And I will say that one thing that they do, which is really true, is they do fill you up. Just a small amount, maybe a quarter of a cup or less, can tide you over. Let's say if you're really hungry during the day and you're waiting for dinner to come around, try some almonds if you can eat almonds and see how that makes you feel. I mean, you really stay full for a while. Whole grain products like brown rice, oatmeal, quinoa, cereal, and whole wheat bread and pasta are also some examples of high fiber foods. And vegetables like corn, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and squash. Starches are complex carbohydrates that also give your body vitamins and minerals, or the micronutrients. You can find starchy carbohydrates, again, and some of the similar things we just read, like the beans, black beans, chickpeas, fruits, melons, they've added melons there, whole grain products like brown rice, oatmeal, and whole wheat bread and pasta, and again, vegetables like corn, peas, and potatoes. As you can see, foods can be both high in fiber and high in starch at the same time. This article indicating foods containing both are examples of potato skins, whole grain bread, and breakfast cereals, although I wouldn't recommend breakfast cereals for obvious reasons because a lot of them contain a lot of sugar in with the with everything else. Brown rice and whole wheat pasta are all good sources of this kind of fiber as well. Now let's take a look at sugars. Sugars are a type of simple carbohydrate. Your body breaks down simple carbohydrates very quickly. There are two types of sugars: the naturally occurring sugars, like those found in milk and fresh fruits, and added sugars, like those found in sweets, canned fruit, juice, and soda. Sweets include things like cookies, candy bars, and ice cream. The really good tasting stuff that we all seem to eat too much of. I will say I do tend to eat more fruits than I do candies and other sugars these days. And I get the same type of, I guess, satisfaction from the fruits as I do from eating sugars. Because for me, the fruits taste sweet, and it kind of helps me in my, quote unquote craving that I have sometimes for sugars in the sweets like chocolate. And when I do eat something like chocolate, as I talked about before, I go and eat the dark chocolate and the chocolates that have typically more than 70% cocoa in them, and some containing no sugar, that type of thing. Sugar goes by many names. On food labels, you may see sugar listed as agave nut nectar, cane syrup or corn syrup, dextrose, fructose, or sucrose, honey, molasses, and sugar. Sometimes when we get things that we see, molasses, we think, oh, wow, this is really good, or cane sugar or cane syrup, this isn't bad for us. And it can be, the same type of negative impact. Now, limiting sugar is essential to keep your blood sugar levels in the healthy range. Plus, sugary foods and drinks are often higher in calories, which can contribute to weight gain. Limit refined foods and foods that contain added sugar, like white flour, desserts, candy, juices, fruit drinks, soda pop, and sweetened beverages. Now, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams or 6 teaspoons of 100 calories per day of added sugar. For most, now here comes their wokeness in. For most people assigned female at birth, and no more than 36 grams or 10 teaspoons of 150 calories per day of added sugar for most people assigned male at birth. Okay. So, how many carbs should I eat per day? Your age, sex, medical conditions, activity level, and weight goals all affect the amount that's right for you. For most people, the US Department of Agriculture recommends a healthy plate approach. Hmm. Okay. They say that you should have half your plate should be filled with fruits and vegetables, 1/4 of your plate with whole grains, and 1/4 of your plate with protein, such as meat, fish, beans, eggs, or dairy. I chuckle because I think of these people that go in the all you can eat places, and I think your plate tends to look a little different sometimes in those places. But I guess this is a good rule of thumb if you really want to look at things. Now, of course, people like AOC would tell you not to put any protein on your plate, but we all know that protein is very valuable. And, she would not want you to eat meat, but that's a good source of protein. It depends upon how much you eat and what types of meat you eat. That can be either positive or negative for your body. And a lot depends upon your age, your medical conditions, etc. Now, the Cleveland Clinic recommends that your body needs carbohydrates to stay healthy and work properly. And the secret is to choose complex carbs more often than simple carbs. Your best bet is to choose um, mostly nutrient dense foods with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Limit foods that can have added sugars, and your healthcare provider can help determine the right amount of carbs for your needs. Now, the Mayo Clinic says that the dietary guidelines for Americans recommends that carbohydrates make up 45 to 65% of your total daily calories. So, if you get 2,000 calories a day, between 900 and 1,300 calories should be from carbohydrates. That translates to between 225 and 325 grams of carbs a day. You can find the carbohydrate content of packaged foods on the nutrition facts label. The label shows total carbohydrates, which can include fiber, total sugars, and added sugars. Other value that carbs provide, one is protecting against disease. Some evidence suggests that whole grains and dietary fiber from whole foods can help lower your risk of heart disease and stroke. Fiber may also protect against obesity, colon and rectal cancers, and type 2 diabetes. Fiber is also essential for optimal digestive health, or health, I should say. It's also good for controlling weight. Evidence shows that eating plenty of fruit, vegetable, and whole grains can help you control your weight. Their bulk and fiber content aids weight control by helping you feel full on fewer calories. Despite what proponents of low carb diets claim, few studies show that a diet rich in healthy carbs leads to weight gain or obesity. So, what's the bottom line? Choose your carbs wisely. So that's kind of self evident, right? You got to be careful of what you're eating and your carbs and everything else. Okay, so I'm about to get political here. I wasn't going to get political today, but I can't help myself because of everything that I am seeing in the news. And I try to limit what I read in the news because, staying and focusing on the news isn't necessarily good for you. It's not healthy for you. Uh, Hold on one second. I hit something and it came back up. So here's what I want to say. And I'm going to have to be careful of how I say this because I'm on another platform other than Rumble that won't allow me to say the truth. So I'm going to have to kind of curb what I'm saying and be very careful about it. I'm seeing in the news lately how there's talk about, let me say this backwards, flew bird. Okay. Birds that fly, right? They flew, birds flew. All right. Hopefully you got that. And how it could be so much worse than the thing that we had in 2020. Okay. Um, we're starting again with fear mongering, and we're told you can listen to, and I don't know, I'm not going to recommend this, but this is what I did. I subscribed to Tucker, and I won't say the last name just because of the platform that we're on. But I subscribed to Tucker, and there was a doctor on there who had a lot to say about what fear mongering does to you. Okay. And as you might imagine, there's nothing good, healthy, valuable at all to fear mongering. And it worked very successfully a few years back in the fear mongering that we did to people and telling them to put something on their face that everybody knew, including doctors at the time, that you cannot stop a virus with those things on your face. The virus goes right through each and every time. And I believe that the little doctor, the little doctor that had been around in government for a long, long time, is now admitting that he knew that they did nothing to protect you. Okay, that ought to make you mad, right? That ought to just everything in you just make you so angry that you were being used. All right, you were being used. You were told stand this far apart. Uh, don't look at anything because you might catch something. Walk across the street if you see somebody coming because they might be a disease. Uh, Wash your hands 15,000 times a day. I'm exaggerating here, but you get what I'm saying. We're starting to see that again. We're starting to see our food sources being destroyed because of the flu and the bird. Just change the direction of that. And it's starting to be the fear mongering again. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there is also cloud seeding, seeding, going on in, I think, approximately 5 states. California, of course, is one of them. It is not a conspiracy theory. They have come right out and said what they are doing. And they're going to be, practicing doing this for the next, I don't know, 4 years. They've been doing it before, but they're just now telling us and acting like, oh, well, we haven't really been doing it before, but we're going to start now. Ha. Anyway, in California, what that does is that one day when the sky is all sunny and you can get a lot of warmth from the sun, the next thing you know, you look up and there are streaks across every direction that you can see. I don't care for those people who are pilots and say, "Oh, that's just condensation." No, it's not. And again, they have said actually what they are doing. And even if they didn't say what they were doing, you don't have that many streaks in the sky on a normal day on any airport, even or any military base. It just doesn't happen like that. And then after the streaks, the sky becomes milky, and there's a film over the sky, and you can barely see the sun at times, and it's not warm anymore. I wonder why. And so, what does that do to your health? I'm not sure. I don't know what that's doing to your health. Vitamin D, right? We get the biggest source, we've talked about this before, biggest source of vitamin D is from the sun. And doctors, a lot of doctors will recommend that you go out into the sun for like 20 minutes a day, just absorbing the sun because it's healthy for you, getting your body in balance, keeping your body in balance, giving you the vitamins that you need, and on and on and on. All right. And also what that does in California with the cloud seeding is you get more days of rain a lot of times than you do sunshine. Well, you know the song, It Never Rains in California. They'll have to go back and edit that because it does now. And when you see the streaks in the sky, typically about 1, 2, maybe 3 days at the most, rain will come. And we've had a lot of rain. As you know, there's been a lot of devastation because of the rain and the flooding. California is not set up where the streets will drain when it pours. The irrigation system or whatever you want to call it just isn't there. It was never we never had that problem before because in Southern California, like where I'm at, it's a desert basically, right? We have the ocean, but it's mostly desert. Anyway, now what's happening? I don't know if you've read the latest. This came out on the Blaze, and the Epic Times is covering it. I don't know that I can bring it up, but again, this is not a conspiracy theory. It actually did happen. Let me see if I can share my screen and get this. So, scientists just test fired a cloud device over American soil with the ultimate aim of blocking the sunlight. Okay, again, this is not this is not conspiracy theory. It is something that they're actually doing and actually talking about. Now, this happened. Surprise, surprise! It happened in California, and it's most likely going to continue to happen. So, what does that do to you when the sun is being blocked? Um, it could be maybe nothing. It could be, even on a cloudy day, you still get some sunshine and it's good for you. I don't know. I really at this point don't know. Here's what I do know, and I'm talking, and so people are saying, "What in the world?" Yeah, exactly, Deb. What in the world? Um, the reason I started doing this little program and hoping that you share with everyone is because I, like you, I'm sure, see the writing on the wall. Fear mongering starting up, blocking of the sun. So why? So the planet won't heat up and you won't get, climate change won't be devastating, right? I gotta watch what I'm saying. Um, and your health mentally and physically can suffer even with the anxiety that's caused from the fear mongering and also from the fact that you may not be getting the nutrients that you're supposed to get that you would normally get if they weren't screwing with the atmosphere, the clouds, the weather, the this, the that, the food, and anything else. What am I saying? Why did I go into the political realm? because, as the reason I started this show too, it is imperative, I believe, my opinion only, and what I'm doing for myself. It is imperative for you to get into the best physical and mental health that you can be in for your age, your sex, with your health conditions and everything else. For you to get in the best possible shape that you can be in for what may or may not come as a result of all of these things that they are doing and will continue to do. That means eating the best that you can, hopefully organic, more organic than not. Looking at labels on foods to see what it is that you're putting into your body, because sometimes some of the things that seem sort of, yeah, maybe that's not so bad, it is because of the chemical process that is used. And I'm trying to bring you that type of information. But, if you don't like that type of thing or you're not sharing it, then I'm wasting your time and I'm wasting my time, and I don't want to do that. I would love to see this show shared with people and tons of people come on and people watch it, and people tell me what it is that they want, what they want to see, what's important to them and in their health. I can only tell you what I'm doing, what I think is important, what my opinion is, what I'm gaining from my research from other people, experts, doctors, frontline doctors that were bold enough to come out and say things when they knew that things were wrong, right? We're even finding out that some of the medication they told us not to use during that time was the very medication that we needed. Also, vitamin D, extremely important. A lot of doctors say that if you had vitamin D back then and you had enough of it, you wouldn't have been sick and you wouldn't have had to go to the hospital and on and on and on. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do. And I would never do that anyway. What you do, what you choose is up to you. And what you want to do is whatever that is. If it's the best for yourself, great. If you feel like you need to talk to a doctor about how is it that you get in the best possible physical health that you can, for your age, for your gender, and all that other stuff, then go do that. Now's the time to do that, right? Take also your own proactiveness and going out and looking at things, doing research, talking to doctors, looking at research that doctors have done, all the things that maybe were hidden from you or things that they just don't want you to see now. And use your best judgment, the best that you can, with all the information that you've gathered. And again, that's why a lot of what I want to do on this show is bring you stuff like that. Let's see what yeah, Deb said no more chemicals for people. Yeah. I mean, there's too much that you can get. Maybe I'll do a show on this if you're interested. But they're finding out now too. There are different reasons that people are even getting Alzheimer's. What they thought, was the reason for getting it, like older age, is not really the absolute truth. And things are starting to come out now. And did some people get those types of things because of what they were told to take back years ago? Or is it something else? Well, mm, the things that I'm finding out just would make your head spin. So, anyway, always ask questions, Deb said. Absolutely. So, again, if this is something that you want me to continue doing, let me know. Comment, share with people. Let me know what it is you want. I'm trying to do things that I think will help me along my journey in health. And that, again, health is all about your physical well-being, mental well-being, and your spiritual well-being. So it all goes together. So if there's anything that you want me to talk about, anything that I haven't, that just really wanting to know, leave me a comment, preferably on Rumble, and that way I can see it. You also may want to consider joining my page on Rumble at Susan Knowles, one word, because I may get kicked off of other platforms that don't want me to say what I'm saying. And even with what I showed you, I may get kicked off. Okay. Because I have gotten some things, strikes and also warnings for things that I said in the past, the past couple of years, that they didn't want said. So, there are just things that you can't say on that channel that you can say on other channels. And I would frankly like to be where everybody on that one channel, with the little red screen with the little white in the middle, starts with a Y. I would really love it if you would come over to Rumble and I can close down that whole platform altogether. That would be what I would hope I can do in the future. But anyway, anybody have any questions of what I said, or any other questions? Let me know. Rumble rocks, Deb said. It really does, and they're trying to do new things, and it is probably for those people with large platforms. I'm not up there with the large platforms. I would love to be because I want to provide important information. But I mean, it's going to take a lot to get that to grow, and it's going, for Rumble to push my shows out there. There's got to be a bigger crowd, right? That's just the way it is, and the way it's always been. But it would be nice if everybody kind of was pushed out there so people could get an opportunity to see them and see if they have something important to say. We could do news and politics all day. Everybody does news and politics. I used to do news and politics all day, and I think again that it wasn't necessarily um, good for your health. So, just saying. Anyway, all right. I guess we don't have any questions or any comments on that. Again, if you have anything you want to say to me, please leave a comment on Rumble in the comment section, and I will see it. And until next time, here is to your good health. Go out and start your health and wellness journey today. You won't be sorry you did. All right. God bless you. See you later. Take care.